Hi guys, Martin here, coming to you with my full build and final reveal. This is a kit that I'm entering into Len Sarchevic's Pure Flight Scale Modelling group build that he's hosting on Facebook. He has a YouTube channel called Chancer NW, which stands for North Wales. If you don't know him, links to his YouTube channel down below and a link to the Facebook group build page. And this group build is purely for light aircraft, no commercial airliners, no military aircraft. So if you fancy a change from those subjects, you can build anything such as gliders, sports aircraft, air racers, private general aviation and aerobatic aircraft. And again, no military or commercial airliners to be included. So if you want to have a group build with a difference away from military and commercial stuff, here's a group build for you. So this kit is the Minicraft model kits 1/48 scale Piper Super Cub PA-18. It's going to be the first light aircraft non-military kit I've ever built. It's not really an interest of mine, but I want to support Len's group build. This is the first one I've seen him host. Guys, if you want to support Len, click the links below and get into the Facebook group page. And if you have a kit that fits the group build, chance to build it. So let's take a look at the box. That's the box art on the front cover. That's side art along the long length. You can see there's a stand included with this kit. And that's the artwork on the end of the box lid. So these are the sprues. There's 3 white sprues and a clear sprue. This is the wing parts. You can see it's poorly detailed and the mouldings are poor. Not good quality moulding. That's the second sprue with all the engine parts and the cockpit tub parts and the support struts for the underwing struts. That's the cockpit tub floor. It's very basic. And when you go close up, that's the third sprue with the fuselage halves, horizontal stabilizers and the undercarriage parts. And when you get into close up, you see flash and rough edges. It's just poor detail. That's the clear sprue, and there's a weld line that goes all the way from front to back on the upper caniper. That was the stand. They're the decals, just a few decals. And then we have a 4-sided booklet that folds in 2. There's 9 steps to assembly, very basic. So let's move on with the build. As always, I cleaned the part. It's an old kit. Washed them in warm soapy water, allowed them to air dry, and then decided to start off with the wing assemblies. Got all the wing halves together and the lenses. Assembled the 2 halves. Put the lens in place. And then decided to cut out the flap areas and glued those in the down position. I then got the fuselage halves and the cockpit tub and the horizontal stabilizer parts together, and then cut out all the engine assembly parts. And they're the 2 undercarriage parts, and then the wheels go onto that as well. So there's all the interior stuff painted with a black Steinel Res primer and the wheels primed, and then the undercarriage struts assembled there. There's the engine assembled and the cockpit tub. As you can see, it's very basic. There's the instrument panel glued into the port side fuselage. Painted the interior with a grey, painted the wheels there and the propeller. And this is the engine detailed. All those painted parts were then given a gloss clear coat, making them ready to do an oil wash. And then a master propeller to do 2 white stripes on the tips. I used a black wash, oil wash for the inside, then seal coated that with a matte varnish to finish it. There's a tub in place. I made the buckles, seatbelt buckles and straps with silver foil from a wine bottle. Glued the two halves together there. You can see there's a join line down the back of the cockpit area there. So I wanted to hide that. Cut out a bit of styrene. Stuck that over that join. It also provides a step for the canopy to sit on, so the canopy doesn't drop down. Stuck in the stabilizers. I also cut the elevators off there. Glued them in a lowered position. There's the undercarriage glued in. Needed filler all around that. And then there's like a red fire blanket, is that? I'm not sure what it is. I brush painted all the framework. That's why it looks crap. For all the glass. Masked it all and then glued it in place. And as I was gluing it in place, because that weld line down the middle, the weld line split and the whole thing came in two. You can see the split there at the back end of that canopy. Wings are now glued in place, followed by the engine. The front top engine cowling in place there, followed by the bottom engine cowling. The undercarriage struts are in place as well. And then the two side cowlings were just temporarily located because I'm going to have them open. And then use some styrene bar, cut out some struts for the horizontal stabilizer to the rudder supports there. There you can see the crack on the canopy. That goes from back to front, split in half. Wheel assembled there, rear wheel. Pilot step glued into position. And then put the underwing struts onto cocktail sticks. Cleaned everything down. And then primed using grey Stynel res primer. That's the underside. After that I mixed a bit of black with some car kit to do a panel line wash, pre-shading. That's the underside. I didn't want it black because it's going to be a white aircraft. So there's the semi-gloss white that I used to paint. Airbrush that all over. You can't see the pre-shading in that view, but it's then gave that a gloss clear coat, allowed it to dry overnight, then masked the tips of the wings and the stabilizers and used a flat red XF7 Tamiya to paint those tips. That's the underside. Following that I painted the starboard side green light and the port side red light, and then I painted the tail wheel and the tail light there. Then gave that a gloss clear coat, those red painted areas and the wheel and the lights. I let it dry overnight, then moved on with decals. But as you can see, the side decals of 3 red stripes just broke apart when it went into the water. So then I had to mask and airbrush those stripes. There I've masked both sides for 2 stripes. And again I used the Tamiya flat red XF7. And that's the 2 stripes on each side. I then gave that a gloss clear coat, let that set. And then I could mask over those stripes for the 3rd middle stripe. There you can see the space for that 3rd middle stripe. And there it is, airbrushed. Looks better than the decals. So after the stripes were in place, I painted the black anti-glare panel on the front there. Gloss clear coated over that. And then put on the side decals. Glued in the underwing struts, support struts. And then gave everything a dirt wash using a raw umber oil colour. Thinned with odourless mineral spirits. There's the engine cowlings in the open position. The propeller was glued in place. And there you can see a dirty wash. Wheels glued in place there. and the masking removed on the canopy there. So that's it all built up, ready for the final reveal, which we're about to see. But before I do, quick overview. It's an oldish kit, it's poorly moulded, it's poorly detailed, and would I buy this kit? No, not for me, because I'm purely military, but those that like this kind of aircraft, I'm sure they might enjoy it. So that's it from me, guys. Tally-ho, chocks away.
Thank you.